Well, first of all, what a day. Amazing. You know, we had a brunch earlier and just seeing all the people here, it's just what an experience. So I appreciate you guys being here. Like I said, everything is not a surprise, but it's just gravy on top of everything. So.
I have a microphone here. If you could raise your hand real quick.
Oh, I can hear him.
Call out your name and your outfit.
Hi, Detlef. I'm Dylan Wilhelm with the Chronicle in Centralia. You mentioned Centralia in your speech, obviously spending a year there. When you think back on that senior season and your time with Ron Brown, just kind of what comes to mind?
Well, special. You know, like I said, Ron, his surviving son is here. One of his former assistant coaches is here. From Don Mason, his two daughters are here with their family. You know, it was a special year for somebody that came from a industrial city to go to Centralia. It was like a rude awakening, you know. But it was, you know, I wouldn't trade for anything. I was fortunate to land there, and there's Ron Brown, you know, a guy that coached for 57 years at Centralia. Quite amazing, yeah.
Percy Allen with the Seattle Times. I don't know how much thought you put into it at the time, but since then, there's been several European players who have come over. But now that you can put some like perspective on it, what did that take for you to do that at that time? And do you think of yourself as somewhat of a pioneer to like usher in this pipeline of players that came from Europe?
Well, at the time, Percy, you know me, I wasn't thinking much. I was just, you know, looking, hey, I'm going to go do it. I'd say I was a planner in some ways where could I go learn English and play basketball. You know, I was all about just playing as much as I could. But definitely, it was a lonely world out there for me in the pros, especially. You know, it's the first kind of European by myself. Now it's a third of the league is international. So, you know, it's a global league. Back then, there were no scouts, you know, watching high school games, you know, watching Hannes play at 16. You know, there were no NBA players watching me play, coaches at 16, you know. It's a different world. So definitely, it was fun at the time. So you nowadays, I probably have my own little, whatever you want to call it, group, tribe, or whatever, you know, of my players. So the guys I play with on national teams or whatever. But it wasn't that way back then.
Percy's got the mic.
Taryn Kovacs, Roundtable Sports. You mentioned in your speech just kind of the network and the family you made with the Huskies players here. We also saw a lot of your former Sonics teammates here as well. Just what are the emotions to just kind of like see people from all different times in your journey just be here and celebrating you?
Well, I think that's kind of my point, that we live in a pretty special place that we have to make an effort to keep it that way. You know, Husky Nation is strong. You know, we care about each other. I always said, hey, if you don't succeed in this particular thing, whether it's basketball, volleyball, softball, whatever it is, you know, this is your chance to build network. When you look at the people that were here today that are Huskies that played my age and after, or even some before, you know, a lot of them are very successful, and they will open a door for you. But you have to make a commitment, right? As I said, it's you're dark for life. So you make the commitment, people will make it to you, and I'm afraid we'll lose that alumni base with the way athletics are going now.
You know, for people who haven't seen you play, for these guys on this team who maybe hadn't seen you play, what type of player were you? What was your mentality? What were you trying to get done out there? Because we see the stats and we see the awards and the Sixth Man of the Year and just some types of the humility that it took to be so good and yet to accept different roles. What things were you trying to do at different stages of your career?
I just played basketball. You know, I think I was fortunate to have a coach. My youth coach in Germany was, no matter what position you played all positions. You knew all the plays from every position. You handled the ball from all positions. If you didn't rebound as a guard, you know, you had to rebound. You had to play the game, and I think that's kind of what a lot of the youth coaches teach in Europe. You know, you're not just all of a sudden the tallest guy in high school and you go, hey, you're playing in the paint. You know, you're a rebounder, dunker. So I was fortunate. I learned that early on. So I was already Again, I was a late bloomer. If you had seen me at 14, 15 years old, you would have thought differently. Skinny, bleach blonde hair, not a hair on my body, basically. I was just such a late bloomer, but I could play as a point guard. And, all of a sudden I grew at 14, 15, 16, 17. I grew till 19 in college. I think that was just part of it. Loving the game. And to me, it's not about shooting or scoring. I just like winning and making the right play. So if I get double team, you make the right play. I don't shoot over two guys if somebody's open. Now, if that guy can't shoot, but he's open, he still should get the ball. If he can't make it, then it's coach's job to take him out. That was how we were taught, right? And I was lucky I came here, and Ron Brown was the same way. Everyone did the same drills. Everyone played the same positions. You knew everything. And then Marv was more traditional, and I think I kind of broke his mold because I'm stubborn, that. And he would say, get a rebound, pass it to the guard, and I'd say, nope, I'm dribbling the ball. I'm getting the rebound. I'm leading the break, and he did not like that for probably a year until he goes, well, I give up. So
let's get 2 to 3 more, please.
Andrew Bailey from Cascadia Sports.net. Do you have a memorable moment here as a Husky or a game that you remember?
Lots of memorable moments. I'm not sure I can tell them all, but I think everyone keeps talking about a UCLA game, three overtimes, where the place was packed. We beat UCLA, a ranked team at the time. I think my junior year, and that kind of catapulted us into, hey, wait a minute, Washington's pretty good, and we became the kind of the threat out west. But that was where the place was nuts, and it was a 1:00 game. I might be wrong. I remember, I think it was a day game, 3 overtimes, and I ended up playing red ball that night. So that was just my life, right? So it was a special day.
To like that right there. And we've heard about your sort of prowess in like these pickup games. What stories can you tell about your pickup career? Do you still play pickup? And like what games did you like the most? Was it IMA, going down to Green Lake, going up to CD?
Oh man, we played everywhere. My pickup now is picking up the dishes. No more basketball for me. I got too many issues, but I just love to play. And I had this gang. We'd go at this old car with a big speaker in the back that had no gas, had a hole in the floorboard, and we roll up to back then at a small lake in Montlake. We go to a South Rainier. We go play in the IMA, but you had to pay to get in. So one of us had to go to the back door and open the back door and sneak in. All those things, right? And it was all weekend long. We played at Green Lake in the summertime, and guys would be fighting all the time. It was amazing. It was amazing. That's when basketball here in the city was, the NBA guys would come and play. We'd play and pick up, with guys. James Atwoods would come out, when I was in college. So it was amazing.
If you had the 3-point shot and the 24-second clock, how would your game have changed? How many points would you have had there?
Oh, I don't know. I just hated not having a shot clock. You play at teams like Oregon State at the time. They'd hold the ball. They go up 2-0. They hold the ball for 2 minutes on you. And Marv would be yelling, pressure, pressure, pressure. And I'm going, we're chasing a guard at half court, and they're not even looking to score, right? I think it's a horrible product to have a shot clock. And a 3-point line, I never even thought about it until, the pros. So all of a sudden, wait, there's a 3-point line. This is pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure I could shoot from the logo. That's a whole nother level, so.
One more?
Yeah.
Anybody?
I think just what would be like the story of Detlef then? Like what does your career and legacy say?
Oh boy. I am grateful for everything, because when you think about it, I was supposed to go to a different high school in California somewhere, and it didn't work out, and I ended up in Centralia. And I was supposed to go to 2 different colleges that recruited me, and then the last second, I got an offer at the UW, and I went to the UW. all those things that, you make one different step and your life could be totally different. So I just consider myself very fortunate that I am where I am, but also the journey I had. The friends I made along the way, we have people here now that I played college with, but throughout the years, there are people now I work with for 20 years. There are 20, 30 people that showed up. There are people, from my golf club. There are people from our foundation staff is here. It's just you make friends that last a lifetime, and it's not because of basketball. So.
Amazing. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much, Detlef.
Yep. Thanks, Chris.